All right. Welcome back, traders. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me get some people strolling in here. Throw on a tune real quick. All right, so the first thing we're going to cover tonight is we're going to cover the dollar index. All right. Rising wedge on the weekly time frame playing out. Rising wedges, typically when they do break down, they break to the bottom of their structure. All right. So we got a swing failure pattern up here on the dollar. Should bode well for risk assets here in the coming months, the way I see it. S&P, NASDAQ, gold, even Bitcoin, cryptos should all start to perform here in the next coming weeks or months with this price action coming in here on the dollar. All right. Now, depending on how strong of a move down we get, we'll probably kind of allude to how strong these risk assets perform, right? Obviously, you're going to have some that outperform or whatever. Not every asset is the same, but in general and across the board, when we get dollar index to make a move down, just like when we did here when the dollar topped out, this was the bottom of the market for all markets, S&P and Bitcoin, right? So this second leg here in crypto to the downside is probably going to be the start of our real alt season, right? Because that makes sense, right? This was just this year was just a Bitcoin show, and we had this big capitulation event on the altcoins, and now they're all going to start to recover, and this is when I think we do see this alt season coming in. All right. We've been talking about alt season for a while, but I think this is where we begin to see that. It could take a couple more months. We could still see some consolidations and stuff down at these range lows and stuff like that for some of these assets. Just depends on what they're doing. Depends how strong they are, right? So yeah, let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Or actually, you know what? Let's look at the S&P. We got Toe in the house. What's up, dude? So S&P continuing to trek higher here. And not too much to really talk about there in terms of what it's going to do here. Obviously, we think risk assets are going to continue to perform. S&P basically flat right now, but it looks like it made a new high on the week. Or it closed back above its all-time high level. You got the next fib extension up here at 63.90. I think eventually you tag that. It's a 200% retracement from swing high to low. That's a major retracement zone. Your weekly stochastics here are looking still kind of ticked up, coming into the bullish control zone here on the weekly time frame, 2-week time frame. Also nice and elevated 3-week here. We are sitting up here in what I call the hot zone, definitely the hot zone. So parabolic movements happen up here. So we could continue to see parabolic movements here on the S&P. The monthly also still up here in the hot zone. Okay, so no issues until we start breaking out of this zone, right below this 80 level, or I would say the 75 zone right here. Okay. So yeah, that looks good. 2-month chart, getting up there, right? Quarterly just crossing up, man. So we got like at least 6 months to almost a year of probably upside left in the market, which makes some sense. The end of the year, I think, is when we're going to see a major crash or correction come into January there. So looks like we got a nice. We're going to probably have some dips along the way, but high time frames look pretty solid, I would say, for the S&P. NQ, probably much of the same, right? Your quarterly looking good. Yeah, I mean, this was like rising wedge stuff here, but this could break north. They just continue to bust it back into the structure. So, again, with the weekly just crossing up on the NASDAQ, it's really strong. We're going to probably see a lot of these tech stocks here the next coming weeks, months, probably continue their movements. Obviously, it's going to depend on what and where it is on the range and, all that stuff. It's going to be contingent upon those assets' technical analysis. But in general, across the board, the NASDAQ looks good on the weekly time frame here, momentum-wise. Right, your MACD crossing back up here. Very nice. Yeah, you got a nice 2-3 day squeeze going on here on the NASDAQ. Very nice. About to break back above all-time highs, man. Probably happens this week, if I had to guess. Very nice, dude. Very nice. Good to see. Good to see the upside here. Cool. So that's your NASDAQ, your S&P, your dollar index. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just kind of meandering around the range. Not really anything has changed here for Bitcoin. Kind of got a bearish momentum cross on the 2-day. We'll check gold here in a second. Yeah, so we got a squeeze kind of brewing here on Bitcoin. We did just get a 2-day signal to come in, but we haven't really seen it kind of activate just yet. So see how this plays out. We are kind of putting in bearish engulfing candle yesterday. Kind of a nothing burger candle in my opinion, because we're still holding above the middle of this range. We are kind of rolling over on this moving average a bit, but we're still way above the 200-day moving average here at 80,000. And if the dollar index is really going to start aggressively moving back down, then I think that Bitcoin will probably just sit up here. It's not gonna really do too much. Again, if we're going into an alt season, we kind of want this price action on Bitcoin. We want consolidation up here. We want altcoins to start outperforming Bitcoin. This is how it's possible, right? With a consolidation like this. So if all of that is kind of driving that and looking like that, then that's kind of what we're going to see out of Bitcoin here for the next coming weeks, maybe next couple months. Maybe we just end up just ranging for the next couple months before we get a move, into Q4 or something, or Q3 to Q4. So maybe Q2 is just a consolidation for Bitcoin. ETH needs to wake up. Yeah, I think ETH will wake up here shortly. You got a good catalyst coming. They have their upgrade coming in March. So I think it's possible situation that we see ETH basically start to become on the bid. So we'll see how that plays out. We're going to check out the ETH Bitcoin ratio here in a second after we check gold out real quick. All right. We can look at bonk board. Yep. I don't know why this is taking so long to load, but gold on the weekly, a nasty long wick. All right, just be careful on gold here. I'm not saying that you're going to see follow through on it, but I would be cautious up here personally. All right, you got a weekly band deviation here. Yeah, I'd be careful about taking longs up here on gold. Here you go. You got a 2-day bearish engulfing candle coming in. It's probably gonna come back down to retest its breakout. I don't think this move is done, but I think it's short-term move done, maybe for the next couple weeks. Okay, and we come back down to retest this breakout, and then we get to that $3,000 target. Gold is hyper bullish, all right, but it looks a bit extended and needs a breather. Okay, kind of what the daily chart is kind of implying right now. All right, cool. So there's your gold. Watch your ranges. Don't be shorting bottoms of ranges. If you get a push up into resistance and you see rejection coming through, then you can short with a really easy stop above the all-time high. So I think that's really not. I think it's a really low risk area to take a short up here, actually. Okay. So nice, yeah, nice short opportunities here for gold, at least on the shorter time frames here. Yeah, I mean this is all pointing down, man. Like everything points down. Daily, 2-day, 3-day, probably. Yep, band deviation on the 3-day. Yeah, I think gold's gonna come back down to test that base at $2,700 region. Retest your breakout. Right, gold went on a run, man. Nice break for gold. Very nice. Cool. We'll check out Bonk. Let's check out the ETH BTC ratio. Still kind of just sitting down here, not really too much action. I had some big butterfly structure maybe to play out, but I don't know if it's going to do that whole move. But maybe long term it will. I was thinking maybe we see. I mean, if we're already down here, why aren't we going to see the range low? So maybe we do see that range low. Potentially. I'm just throwing it out there. It would make some sense. Look at Sol, look at LTC. LTC's been on a run. There could be an ETF coming for LTC. But I remember, was it last stream or the stream before, we were talking about LTC looking very technically sound in its structure. And what you guys really should start doing is charting these assets against Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin's flat up here and Litecoin's not, then it's probably looking maybe good on that chart. So like it's going to outperform Bitcoin. So instead of owning Bitcoin or trading Bitcoin, maybe you just trade the altcoin pair or something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll take a look at those two, Sol and Litecoin. Sol looking ripe up here. It's at the bottom of its range. I'm not really too much of a fan of this candle right here that we printed. What's up, Frank? Yeah, dude. Pulse chain assets starting to look pretty good. We'll take a look at some of those here later. 205, yeah. This rejection this is a really strong floor here for Sol. You don't really want to see candle closes below this 175 region. Otherwise, you're probably going to go test the 2-day, 200-day moving average at 165, and then you maybe have potential to start rolling over if it doesn't perform. I'm not saying that that's happening. I'm saying if you start getting closes like that, I'd watch out, right? Your 2-day momentum is already down here, though, so I would suspect to see some more consolidation down here, and maybe you start to get bids to come in, right? So just pay attention to this range low. This is probably not a bad area to strategize taking a range trade or something. You could range trade this maybe back up to 259. If you start getting closes back 195, I think you have a clear shot at 260. Okay. All right, cool. That's Sol. We'll take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin holding above the 200-week moving average for the first time since November 2020. So like I said, altcoin season for Litecoin could replicate some type of move like it did here in 2020 to 2021, all right? That looks pretty good. A weekly bullish engulfing candle there. Oh yeah, we'll look at Bonk, dude. Sorry. The Litecoin looks good. I mean, as long as you're holding above the 200-week moving average here, above $100, I think solid. Bonk. Bonkers. Bonkers down at the bottom of its range. Yeah, I mean, probably not a bad area to take a shot at accumulating some bonk here. And given this range holds, I mean, dude, if you end up losing this floor on bonk, you're coming way down. All right, I'm just letting you know. This floor up here, if it doesn't hold, you got a lot of downside because you've gone straight up, right? Yeah, you pulled back like 70-something%. So you can range trade it. Set your stops below these supports. I would even give it some room, man, like a lot of room. It's a meme coin, okay? Not particularly excited about this chart pattern here, but bottom of range. What view is this on TradingView? What do you mean? This is a daily time frame. I'm on log scale. Sure. All right, so I know we got some Pulse Chain folks probably watching the stream tonight. We did pick up some more Teddy Bear here earlier today off this range low. Teddy Bear here looking pretty juicy here on the 3-day time frame. See, we're getting about a 3-day. We're about to get a 3-day cross up down here. The weekly time frame hasn't given us that cross just yet, so that's when we're really going to start to see momentum come into the asset. But we're approaching the buy zone here on the weekly time frame for Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear looking pretty good. You can see our weekly RSI coming back to neutral, right after this big drawdown, like what, 70-something% drawdown, 80% drawdown here, 76% drawdown, coming right back in to back test its breakout. So I suspect a big bounce off this level at least. At least back up to maybe test, this structure that it's in. Okay, it looks like a descending broadening formation, which, guys, descending broadening formations are actually more probable to break out to the upside than a falling wedge. Falling wedges break out 68%. Descending broadening formations break out 72% of the time. So this has if this plays out, this is a very strong chance to break back up to its all-time high. Okay. And man, this daily bullish divergence down here is really something that's going to produce a big move. The 3-day momentum is also screaming bullish divergence. You have massive amount of bullish divergence down here on Teddy Bear asset. It's a $30 million market cap on Pulse Chain. It's probably the biggest meme coin, or the meme coin on Pulse Chain to own. Not financial advice, of course, but I think this looks pretty solid. Nice candle here today, about a 20% candle off the range low. All right. Very nice. Looks very nice. A couple others that actually look good. We can cover Wrap Bitcoin. Wrap Bitcoin holding its range, its rectangle range here. Yeah, I had a trend line drawn here from, when it was in this uptrend to when it broke down and then it broke out. You can clearly see that this is being regarded and respected here from a downtrend or uptrend holding of range. It also is confluent with the daily 200 moving average. So this asset's holding above its daily 200 moving average, which is very strong. A lot of these assets are, of course, in uptrends and in bull markets. But sometimes you get assets that deviate below their 200 moving average and snap back in, like Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear actually snapped below its daily 200 and just got a 30% candle today to pop back above it. So very bullish there on Teddy Bear, doing stuff like that. Wrap Bitcoin here. Also in some sort of flag pattern. Okay, this is an extremely bullish structure as well on the longer term time frames. You can see the daily stochastic looking pretty good too. 3-day reset, weekly not reset just yet, but if you got a daily and a 3-day resetting, that's going to eventually flip your weekly stochastics to bring momentum back into the asset. Maybe another week or two. Okay, cool. So some Pulse Chain assets looking pretty strong. I'm personally trading the Maker asset on Pulse Chain. What's going on, man? So Maker on Pulse Chain, falling wedge type of structure, massive parabola structure here. This looks really, really juicy. 3-day bullish divergence down there on the RSI, 3-day buy signal. You're just getting a MACD histogram cross. And I think this thing is going to do some numbers, man. Just look what it's doing, right? So you broke out of your rectangle range, came back down, made a higher low. Looks like a double bottom, right? Beautiful double bottom off the parabola structure. Can't really make this stuff up. This chart was painted pretty textbook. Hammered off the low today. Man, that's really strong to see stuff like that. Yeah, low market cap, but so Pulse Chain, if you guys aren't familiar with what these assets are, is they're copies of the ERC20 actual coins. So what their real goal here is to try to bring these to as close to parity as the ERC20 copies. So I think Maker on Ethereum is trading around $1,000, man. And it's not going to take a lot of liquidity to push this price. So every single time liquidity doubles on this pool, the price actually 4x's. So if you're looking at a 50x to parity, you only need a 10x the liquidity. So you get to like a 1.6 million liquidity, and this thing's at $1,000. That's like nothing burger in this market. So I'm not seeing $1,000 right here right now, but what I am seeing is a move back up to $80 on a break here. This is a falling wedge. So the falling wedges, and if you do respect the parabola structure, yeah, I mean you could really get back. You could easily get back up there and by the end of the year or something, or the next 6 months. So I took a shot at this. I think it technically looks good. It's one of the bigger PRC20 copies on the chain, and they're using it to actually mitigate the Pulse Chain die, which that's what they're trying to peg on chain right now. So I'm just looking at the chart and trading the asset. I don't really know about these narratives and how they're going to play out, but if they do, kudos to Pulse Chain, man. Cool. So we'll talk. What else did you guys want to cover? Crow. We'll look at Crow. Sure. What's going on, Miyagi Trading? All right, man. So Crow came right back down. I think we talked about this level here on Crow. All right. So as long as you end up making higher lows than like 7 cents, I think you're in an uptrend since this October 23 low, right? So you made a big break in a back test. Looks really nice. The daily time frame here, and my chart is really slow right now. Yeah, oversold on the daily, 2-day oversold, 3-day probably oversold. I mean, these are the areas, man. Like when the assets are oversold and they're making higher lows so far. Yeah, looks good, man. I think 786 fib extension from swing high to low. That's value areas here on an asset like this. You really want to see this kind of round out and consolidate for a bit, and then we'd like to see this kind of make a new high, right? Make a new high. You've been making higher highs and higher lows here, and then you've made a lower low here, but then you made a new high, right? So kind of the same type of structure might actually break you out of here if there's enough momentum in this asset, in this in this market. So looks like you're maybe trying to find a bottom here with these oversold RSIs. Pay attention to your momentum. I think you probably get some sort of bounce here. Maybe you go test this 10-cent region, come back down to retest the low, confirm the bottom, right? One low nobody knows, the second low everybody knows type of thing. So I think you just need to watch what happens down at these range lows here. Probably a great accumulation zone for a crow. Cool. What else you guys got? I was going to look at some stocks tonight too. I think some stocks look pretty good for sure. Rivian, yeah, I think Rivian got that reset, right? I think we spoke about Rivian not too long ago, and it attempted a breakout and failed, right? It looks like it's reclaiming its range here, right? So you had this attempted wedge break here, failed to break. That happens, man. You can't. Sometimes you get failed breakouts, and it sucks, but it's part of the game, and that's how they fake traders out. It's how they, wipe these people out that trade options or whatever. So you got an attempted break, failed, but you just reclaimed this level, and you got earnings coming up in 4 days. So looks pretty good. I think they're going to have a good earnings call just based off this chart, especially if they consolidate above this 1250 region. I think that looks pretty good. Key break here is this $17 level, and get above this 3-day 200 moving average. I think you got pretty much a clear shot at getting to like 2750 in the coming days, weeks, months, however long it takes. But yeah, high time frames are, massive buy zone here. Monthly RSI, wreck down here at 26. This is swing trade material, man. If you believe in Rivian company, this is something that you could probably buy and hold here for the long term. At least up into this, this 40 to 50 zone, where the falling wedge kind of pattern plays out to, where you get some type of movement like this, where you get up here and then maybe you pull back down and you make like a cup and handle structure, because falling wedges eventually get to the tops of their structures. This could take a year or two though to do that, right? And then maybe Rivian really blows out, dude, and makes new highs. That RSI is wrecked, so it could take a couple years for that RSI to become not so wrecked. All right. But yeah, this is how you position trade yourself if you believe in a company. Yeah, we can check them out, man. QUBT. Yeah, nice double bottom down here. Rejecting the neckline for now. So if you're rejecting this neckline for now, maybe come back down to it could be a steep drawdown. Your monthly became extremely overbought up here. I wouldn't touch this stock right now. It looks like probably comes back down to the middle of its range. Yeah, we could even see a $3 retest, make a higher low there, hold the middle of the range or something before building up momentum again to eventually go higher. I could be wrong. This thing could just send tomorrow or something, but yeah, no, I'm not disputing that. Not disputing that. I'm looking at high time frames, man, and monthly deviations like that are usually not the best to see. Yeah, I mean, your monthly stochastics are still in the hot zone here, so I guess it's okay. Maybe it just goes tomorrow, man. I don't know. Daily looks good, I guess. So. Yeah, I don't know. If it's going to hold up here, and they're going to bring volume in up here. I mean, I personally don't like taking trades at the tops of ranges like that, personally. But if you're in this already and you got it in like down here at this higher low, then you just hold. That looks fine. That is a very nice chart though, man. That is a very nice chart. That's like a 1272 fib extension type of structure. Butterfly. Oh wow, I like drew that perfectly. It's not going to get to, I don't know if it's going to get to $4,800, but yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, the quarterly chart looks insane. Absolutely looks insane. Look at that squeeze, man. That's crazy. And your relative volatility index still way the F down here. Wow. Cool, man. I'm gonna change this song. It's kind of annoying me at this point. I wouldn't be shocked if this pulled back a bit, is all I'm trying to say. Over the next coming days, maybe like $3.50 range, $4 range, something like that. Retest 200-day moving average. Or maybe just sideways for a bit. Cool. What was the other ones you wanted to look at? QBTS. Yeah, I think I've charted this one already. So QBTS looked pretty good. Nice reset. See the difference on this chart, man? Right, you got the pullback. You got the pullback. This looks much better. Tagged it, basing here. Daily's in a squeeze. Oh man, I should probably be trading this tomorrow. This looks crazy, bro. Yeah, QBTS. Send it. Looks like a send right back out to the top of the range. Wow. Like a big cup with handle or something. Wow. Ghetto. That looks pretty lit. Cheese and rice. Daily squeeze broken. 2-day. Big squeeze. Looks good. Looks pretty good, man. Nice. I think I have this one on my watch list too. Yeah, I have it right here. QBTS. All right, cool. Nice. QBTS ARQQ. Man, I took a trade on this and I had to cut it the other day. It just ended up breaking the range on me. It's probably gonna end up holding here though, or some stupid stuff. Actually, it was down 8%. Glad I did cut it actually. Yeah. It might end up going to like $13 if it loses this level. It was like oversold and everything. That's why I took the trade, but only on a small time frame, like a 12-hour chart. And then it's still oversold, yeah. No dice, man, no dice. on this one yet. Maybe some more rolling over on this one if this doesn't hold. Bleeding over what? Bleeding over what? Pulse chain? I think it's fine, dude. What else you guys got? H bar, the bar. You go to the bar, Toe? How you stop drinking, bro? Just kidding. H bar daily oversold. 2-day time frame. In the bearish control zone right now. 2-day super trend still holding. Good job, man. Good job. Like to hear that. Okay, yeah. 3-day stochastics here. We got a bit of divergence, right? You're probably at or near a floor of sorts. Maybe you come back down to 18 or something and tag it. Maybe. Right, you broke this range. So this range here was about a 25% drawdown. So you did it. You did the move down. So yeah, you're probably just sitting. You're just gonna sit down here, man. Just consolidate here. I don't really see too much more downside on it, especially with those. Yeah, you might just go grab that liquidity down there or something. Maybe. Looks pretty good down here for a buy, I would say. Looks good. Looks not bad. Holding a support. Just pray that Bitcoin doesn't break down, man. If Bitcoin breaks down, well, probably goes lower. But high time frame, weekly time frame. Got a long wick that came down here. Yeah, I mean, this is like almost like a nothing burger. Weekly close. I think the structure's intact. Like, the structure is still intact pretty much. Yeah. In terms of your ranges here. So. Maybe just some chop down here, consolidate a bit more before you get, you know, at least a retest to 27. As long as it hit my stop loss, we're good. Yeah, bro. Don't get stopped out, man. Or play a deeper stop, man. You know, don't play the stop so tight. Maybe use less leverage. Or you're using leverage. Probably safer just to trade on spot, man. Don't have to worry about it as much. You don't have to worry about getting liquidated or anything. You can always DC your position. Spot's the way to go, man. But yeah, I knew you're using bots, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh, okay, good. Good. Uni Maker Doge, yeah, let's take a look at them. Fetch. Uni back at the bottom of the range. Looks good. Looks like it's holding this range low, right? So you're going to hold the range low. Well, you got to trade up to the top of the range, 1190, or maybe even 1140, 1140 to 1190, like this level right here, this liquidity wick here. You know, and if you end up breaking like the trend, you know, you can clearly see that this is your trend. So you probably go tag it. It's about a 20% move. Yeah, looks good. The high time frame also got a reset. So, I mean, I think longs are okay down at the bottoms of these ranges like this, with, you know, tight stops and stuff like that, of course. Yeah, Maker. We just spoke about Maker. The one on Pulse Chain anyway. All right, BIFINX I think has the data on this. All these charts look the same to me. They all look identical. All right, Maker down at the bottom of a range or close to the bottom of this range here. You know, broke 1100, so probably going to go tag that or test it. And if it rejects it, well, you know what's going to happen. If you make a push up, get rejected, then you probably come down to here. But if you deviate back above it, then you can maybe get some upside, right? So something like that might occur if we get upside on it. Cool. I think it's low risk down here, dude. Yeah, I think you can probably take your long trade there. Not a big deal. Dogecoin. Probably a lot of the same stuff going on, right? We just had massive capitulation events. You know, holding your weekly super trend here at the bottom of the range. Very, very, very nice retest of a critical market structure here for Dogecoin. It looks like Dogecoin in the coming weeks or months is probably going to break its all-time high, man. Just look at the structure. You got your base, you got the cup and handle continuation, and now you've got another consolidation pattern here. It looks like a wedge. Okay, you might get up here, but I think eventually what happens is you actually just break it. Doge is one of those memes that it actually does very, very well against Bitcoin. If you guys have ever looked at this ratio before, Doge is one of those assets that actually does pretty well against Bitcoin. So, like, this is not a bad looking chart against the ratio against Bitcoin like that. And higher low being put in against Bitcoin there on the ratio means that you can go test the top of this range here against Bitcoin. That's an 83% move against Bitcoin. It's a big trade. You can almost double your Bitcoin position here with something like this. Not a bad chart, man. I gotta say, against Bitcoin looks not so bad at all. Holds its value pretty well, actually. Cool. Fetch, take a look at it. All right, man. So understand that your weekly super trend is short. You did just put a weekly doji candle in. That's good. Maybe that's your reversal on fetch. Kind of got a bit of a channel going on here. You can see it. Okay, that is definitely a flag pattern. All right, so yeah, like I said before, it's like, you know, reclaiming this range gets you probably to the top of this trend line. You know, then you might draw down, make a higher low, and then eventually break it. If we get an alt season, you're going to be looking at something like that, right? Yep, your weekly is just about reset here on fetch. Your 3-day probably giving you the signal. There it is, the 3-day giving you the signal, man. And you got the doji candle on the weekly. Come on. They painted it for you, man. Now you just need to see some follow through on that, okay? Cool. Yeah, Fetch looks not so bad. Nice consolidation structure on Fetch. Aave. Aave, massive parabola structure. Remember, guys, we told you guys to buy Aave in July of 2023 on TradingView. The price was $55. Boom. Anywho, yeah, Aave is one of the strongest altcoins in this market for DeFi. 100%. You can see the parabola structure on it is just very intact. Very, very nice structure on Aave. Very, very clear what this is doing. Holding it, pivoting it off of it, higher lowing off of it, 3-day giving you buy signals probably. There it is. 3-day giving you almost a buy set, a full reset. So big swing up is coming, right? It's telling you that. Okay. Very nice. I would say your swing target right now is probably the all-time high, man. And if you end up breaking that, man, it's that's a big effing move ahead of you. 10x move on a breakout. Probably do about half the measured move by the end of the year. Something like this. Very nice cup structure, man. Yeah, like 11 to $1,600 Aave is probably what I'd be targeting for a swing. Longer term here. It could even do something crazier, man. Like last cycle it did this. So you got like a massive cup structure on Aave. I mean, maybe in the next cycle it does something. Maybe in the next cycle it completes this move, up to like $7,000 or something. Okay. But yeah, you can see the trajectory, the long-term trajectory here for Aave. Probably a great long-term play, as it's the #1 DeFi lending protocol on ETH. Huge. Caspa. You had that distribution pattern play out, that rounded top action. You got your capitulation, and now you're probably going to get something like this. Take a look at YFI. I think YFI is pretty wrecked. Yeah, so Caspa looking to reclaim the range here at 11, 12 cents. And the top of your range here at 20. So looking like a double up. But if you end up breaking that, new all-time highs. Not too far away from it. I would say this asset held up pretty good in this dump, right? Dot made a huge candle the other day. Low risk down here for Dot. Wick. Yeah, man, this is about as good as it's going to get on this chart. Loves making these M shapes, man. But yeah, I think Dot next couple months swing back up to the top of its range. What's going on, Tin Top? Yep. Yeah, so I think Dot can get back up. I mean, you want to range trade this? It's very easy. Like you're at the bottom or pretty close to the bottom of the range, trade to the top of the range until you end up breaking or whatever. If this ends up breaking the structure, even better. You can just hold the position to the next range, which is about $23 on Dot. So that's a big trade, man. 4 or 5x opportunity there for a swing. You get an alt season. Dot's a blue chip asset for sure. Not the best performing one, but Still is a blue chip, I would say. Injective protocol. I think that thing finally bottomed out. Let's take a look at it. Yep, nice structure here. Again with the range break deviations. A lot of the time this happens in crypto. Or really, a lot of the time it happens. Period in trading. So yeah, you got yourself a nice bull flag here, and your 3-day probably got a reset. Yep, they all got 3-day resets, man. Those are usually bottom or signaling bottoms or close to bottoms. Okay. Very nice. Swing to the top of the channel. 24 bucks. You end up breaking it. Your target is the all-time high, 50 bucks. You break 50 bucks. You go back into price discovery. I think I had like $100 target on this thing. If you end up breaking, yeah, like 88 bucks, 165 maybe later on in the cycle. Cool. INJ. YFI. This thing's probably destroyed, man. Not sure if it's really being used anymore. Urine. Yeah, it's wrecked, man. Wow. Just looks like an accumulation, really. Hasn't done much of anything this cycle. It's being held in this range, though. Man, this could end up taking off, dude. Like higher low, pivot, rally, right? Can do that. We've seen it happen before. Looks low risk. Nice setup there for sure on YFI. Not sure if I told you guys this, but I'm in a live swing trade on AMC. The AMC. We got the weekly double bottom. Again, it's about as low risk as you're going to get on this chart, man. So the trade is actually to the top of the channel. That's about a 300% measured move. And well, if it is meme season, and we're going to get memes to go, because GameStop just announced they're going to be potentially investing into Bitcoin. You can see some action on GameStop here. The weekly is telling you some things. The weekly just reset, full slingshot reset down here on the double bottom. It's going to take some months to play out, man, but maybe by like April, May, we see some craziness happening on this chart. And we're in position. This is called a position trade, folks. The weekly RSI making a higher low with the same low on price, roughly the same low. It's slightly higher low, I suppose. And you got the Adam and Eve going on there. Your neckline here at 536. And really just a clear shot to about 11, 12 bucks, man. Once you start breaking above this. Looks like a nice trade setup. Really good risk to reward down here. IJ Money wanted Poly. What's Poly? Oh, Matic. Yeah, we can look at Matic. Or Polygon ecosystem. Oh my god, they ruined it. They ruined it, man. They ruined it. What a garbage looking chart that is. Matic. Range low. Better hold that low, bro. Better hold that low, bro. Wow. Okay, your weekly RSI giving you that bounce, man. All right. Eesh. Yeah. Okay. And I hope that that's one massive bull flag, dude, because if that is, Polygon could do some things. You got some monthly divergence kind of forming here. Starting to build that monthly bull div. Yeah, monthly reset. Not the best performer, but this is definitely a low risk spot to pick it up. Sure. Definitely don't want to lose that low, man. If you lose that low, you're going way down, dude. There's nothing below this low. Don't lose the floor, bro. Do not lose this floor, man. That would be really bad. There's nothing here on the weekly time frame for support till about here. 90% drop, dude. That'd be ugly. They're not gonna let this thing lose its floor. But yeah, watch that floor, man. Nothing below it. All right, cool. All right, man. We've been live for about an hour here. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you guys pop a like. Maybe drop a comment. Comments would really help me at this point. For all of you guys that have been part of the community, that you guys come on the streams a lot. You know, maybe say something to all the newcomers about what I do, how I do it, how you guys maybe been profitable. Maybe you've changed your lives because of these streams and what I've done and what I've taught you guys. You guys know I put a lot of work into this, and trading isn't an easy thing to do. So yeah, drop in some comments would be great. Appreciate all you guys continuing to tune in, and we'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully it's a good trading week here. I don't see anything really that bad on these charts. They look all pretty good. Maybe some more consolidations for these cryptos before they really start to move again. But they all got resets, right? We had that capitulation event. I think it's go time for these altcoins here in the next coming days, maybe a couple weeks. We're going to start to see some action. So looks good. All right. Trade safe, trade smart. Catch you guys next week. Bitcoin, again, just consolidating. We want that if we want alt season. So see if we get it. Cheers, boys. See you guys next week.